Welcome to Access Legal. This is Sisceley Banks, legal assistant. It's a YouTube channel for legal support professionals as well as HR administrators, lawyers, and I'm here to be a support to you. So welcome. Okay, on a positive note, I'm going to talk about the positive side to what we do as legal assistants. Yeah, there's a positive side. I know I talk a lot about what to look out for and to make sure your T's are crossed and I's are dotted, but let's be real. You know, we're human, we're prone to error, and we're going to mess something up, if not real bad, at some point. You know, it's okay to be human. So on a positive note, there are good things, that comes out of being a legal support professional, legal secretary, paralegal, whatever, you know what I mean, in the legal field. So on the positive note, you have all these cases, whatever area of law you're in, whether it's environmental, criminal, family law, there's insurance defense, there's medical malpractice, oh my gosh, so many other areas of law. And to think about it, whatever side you work for, whether the prosecuting or the defense side, plaintiff or defendant, intervening complaint, intervening, whatever, you get to be a part of getting results for whatever party that you work for. And with the results that come in, we manage the flow of discovery documents. When I say discovery, I mean things like interrogatories, requests for production of documents, depositions. It's a name where parties are interviewed by legal counsel. Sometimes cross-examining, asking a list of questions about contracts or certain events that have taken place leading up to the reason why that litigation has been filed. So we get to be a part of that, making things go smoothly so they can either not go to trial or come to a dismissal or a settlement. For some, $1 million settlements as well. We get to see a part of justice, certain individuals, groups or people that need to be behind bars. We get to see a part of that, and we get to be a part of the process as well. So there's a positive side to it. It's not all negative. Like any other job, there are highs and lows, there are pros and cons. So it's a great profession. It grows. It'll definitely challenge you. You really have to be one to be really well-tuned, to be a multitasker. Things are always changing. It's not always going to be black and white. It's like, oh, yesterday things were one way, and then the next things are different. You may find your attorney is working on a case, and then the next day it may be dismissed, or something may have happened, and then you need to transfer the case to another attorney, either to another firm or another attorney in the office, or maybe your client fires your attorney, like, oh, forget it, I'm going somewhere else, So you just you really have to be flexible and try not to cop an attitude about the changes that do happen. You just got to flow with it and make sure things go smoothly and operate effectively. And it can happen. It takes practice. We don't just roll over one morning and we go to work and everything is like from 1 to 10 perfect. Everything is not always going to be perfect. And that's okay, and we learn from our mistakes, and we're supposed to be learning from our mistakes. And as the attorney legal secretary relationship, you guys are working as a team. A team, that's the way it should be. And I'll tell you something, lawyers, your secretary will stick around a lot longer if you're working as a team. It takes a pull from both sides. So if you guys are having communication issues, try to work it out. As I said, chemistry, it does matter. I don't feel it's anything that should be forced. If it's not working out, it's not working out. And you both of you should be paired up with someone that you enjoy working with. It makes the experience nice. And for the attorneys, here's a little side note. Your secretary will take an extra step and make sure you are well taken care of. I mean, throw in a whole bunch of extras. Staying over a little extra, extra 15, 20 minutes just to make sure you got everything you need. Okay? Nobody does that out of the blue. And when your secretary does do that and it's good and it makes you look good, makes the team look good, you should acknowledge that in your assistant. I don't know how many places I've been where I've seen a lot of secretaries beat up over it, or even like competition. Like, I'm the smart one and you're not. You know what I mean? Okay, as attorneys, I hope you guys hear me, but you should want your secretary to be one of the best in the office. And that can happen, with some direction from you as well. As assistants, we don't just roll over one morning and all of a sudden, hey, we're perfect. Hey, we know exactly what you're thinking. Hey, we're going to, do all this stuff. You know what I mean? It's okay to say thank you. It would be very much appreciated. You know what I mean? And oh my gosh, I have just seen some nightmares over the years. And I'll even say this. One place I was at wasn't too long ago. We were just talking, and me and this other paralegal, she was venting, and she felt discriminated against because she was much older. She was older than me, and she said that I feel like the attorneys I work with, they don't want me to know much. What the heck is that all about? She said I just feel like they don't want you to know much. You know what I mean? They just want you to know the bare minimum. And I asked her, I said, do you feel like when you try to make, extra efforts in something, to make it look good, or, try to have these files in good shape? She was like, they don't appreciate it. She, in other words, she felt used. And her work wasn't acknowledged. And I said, do you think it could be discriminatory? I wasn't trying to add logs in the fire, but she just said, I just feel like, they just don't want you to know too much. Now, where the heck did that? I understand exactly where she was coming from with that, because I've run into that at some places. This is a while back. Like several years ago. And, as attorneys, you're not supposed to compete against your assistant. Like, oh, yeah, you think you know something? Well, let me just, push your buttons or try, you know what I mean? There are some that are so wired in what they do, attorneys that are so wired in what they do that they're in fight mode. I call it fight mode. Your assistant is not opposing counsel. Please don't practice on your assistant. Okay, they're there to help and there to help you get the results needed. Okay, you guys are a team. So I definitely understand where she was coming from with that, and that shouldn't be the case. I love, love, love seeing it when it's a good connection, and I can always tell because I'm a very observant. I'm not one to walk around getting everybody else's business, but I am observant, and there are things that I do notice. And I would say the best secretary-attorney relationship that I've seen, it was a place I was working, and the secretary was very familiar with the attorney's family. She had worked for him for about over 10 years. And it was a good attorney paralegal relationship. I mean, they went out of their way for each other. And that's so good to see. It was one of those things like, hey, we're having a barbecue, bring your family over. It was like that, you know what I mean? And she had great work performance reviews and all that. You see what I mean? Things like that. And I don't see that too often, So just be grateful for the help that you do get. And if there's anything that you don't like, the two of you need to discuss that. Okay? Otherwise, you're going to be going through assistants like water, and that builds a reputation out there for both of you. You don't want to be an assistant that's swapping through jobs, running through them like water. And as an attorney, it's good to have a track record that you were able to hold on to a secretary for a long time. That says something about your work ethic, and it says something about the way you're treating your assistants. That speaks volumes. I do look at that. One of the questions I ask when I go on interviews, there's a note, secretaries, is to ask, what's the longest you've had a secretary, and out of the ones that you've had, who's been your best and why? And that is the person you want to try to match and then up it. You know what I mean? And that's good. Not many lawyers can say that, to be honest, because so many of us, we go through so many of these offices, it's ridiculous. So it is possible, and it takes effort on both sides. But on a positive note, as we all know, Administrative Assistance Day is coming up next month, toward the end of the month. And it's always good to show appreciation towards your assistants, you know. They don't have to do anything for you. They could just walk out and quit. Some have. But for the ones that are sticking it out, they're really like burning the midnight oil. And if you got a good connection or not. It's just, it is what it is, okay? So it's good to show your appreciation. And I've seen appreciation like that over the years just decline. I remember there was one place I worked at. I talked about it before. It's a $2.2 billion corporation. It was a good company. At the time, it was a $2.2 billion corporation. And the way they did it, now this company had money. And the way they did it for administrative assistants, it was Administrative Assistants Day. And we got celebrated throughout the entire week. So when we came in, starting that Monday, there were things on our desks with little notes. Isn't that sweet? We all had something when we came in the morning. It was like leading up to that day. I think we decided to do the final celebration that Friday, because Admin Assistance Day that week, I think it was either on the official day was either on a Wednesday or a Thursday. But starting that Monday, we had gifts. Like one day when we came in, that Monday, it was like a flower, like a little potted flower and some candy. And that following Tuesday, it was a gift card. And that Wednesday, the final day, it was some other kind of little treat with a little, I think like a nice little bookmark or something, whatever it was, but it was nice. Then the following day was another gift card. And then the Friday where we were supposed to celebrate, we got something else. I think we got roses or something like that, but it was nice. And they took us to this nice restaurant. We had the rest of the afternoon off, okay? And we all went out. We had an excellent dinner. It was a restaurant called the Quarter Bistro. And oh my gosh, that's the restaurant where I got introduced to black tie mousse cake. That stuff was good. And I had gotten the salmon. The service was good. Some of the ladies had champagne and wine, lobster, you name it. It was a good restaurant. It was clean. Everything was fresh. The salad and stuff was ripe and crisp. Everything was perfect. That whole day was perfect. And we were eating like desserts that we've never even seen before. So it was awesome. And the portions were amazing. So that is an administrative assistance week I will always remember. So it's important, guys, to show your appreciation, because what I'm seeing in a lot of offices now is we get these little greasy slider sandwiches or sub sandwiches from Jimmy John's, them dry, pitiful sandwiches, potato chips, and all these other little, or pizza or something, food that give us indigestion and heartburn. Oh yeah, happy admin day. Where's my motion? Is the date of the case? Come come on, y'all. Come on. Don't y'all want us to stick around a little longer? I mean, if you work for an office and your management just went all out for you, what kind of things did they do for y'all? Because I would love to know. But I know this one firm, he takes his employees to Vegas. That yeah, they banging money like that to be able to do something like that. But here's some ideas that may help. If you want to do little presents when everyone's gone, just put on their desk when they come in on the morning. Each day leading up to the day of admin assistant, they get little notes of thank you with a gift card or some chocolate or flowers or whatever. That's, something like that. Or you can offer a day off with pay, an extra vacation day, or the option of leaving early, or taking a half day or something like that, because a lot of us, we have families, we have other responsibilities and things like that. So that may really help. And I know some offices are cutting back and laying off and budgets and all that other stuff, but there are other ways to get around that, to show your appreciation. But just throwing some crummy sub sandwiches and like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Kroger brand cookies. Oh gosh, come on. I ain't knocking it. I like Kroger, but come on, y'all. Come on, some places really know how to do it up. And y'all know what I'm talking about too. So show your appreciation. That day is coming up. And we know National Boss Day is coming up as well. I think that's in October. If I can look correctly. Yeah, I think that is in October, National Boss Day. But Admin Assistant Day, that is the last week of April. So just think about it. And y'all, for paralegals, legal secretaries, receptionists, and all that stuff, if y'all don't feel your bosses go all out for you like that, why don't y'all get together and put something, do something for yourself to celebrate the work that you've done for your attorneys. You don't have to, I mean, if the office is like that, why don't y'all get together and put something together? Maybe meet somewhere after work and celebrate. You know what I mean? And get cards from one another and just affirm one another, things that you appreciate when your other coworker comes to the office. We don't do that enough. And I can't stand a catty environment with a whole bunch of insecurity and competition. Come on now, we're adults. Everybody is old enough to know better. We should be. That's one option. Just get together, do something for yourselves. Like, okay, yeah, even if they do bring in sub sandwiches, that's something. Thank you. Just say thank you. But after work, y'all get together and do something. You ain't gotta go somewhere and get hammered to the point that you throw up and gotta be, somebody gotta drive you home. You ain't gotta go to that extreme. I mean, do whatever you're gonna do. But yeah, do something for yourselves. I think that's okay. And, to tone down, all that competition and cattiness, why not affirm one another? Like, you know what? That day I was feeling really bad. You smiled at me, you offered some help. I really appreciated that. And I know I maybe didn't say anything, but thank you. You know what I mean? It's okay, if we display that to other support staff. We don't do that. And let me tell you something. I think it'll strengthen the productivity in the office as well. Like, all right, I got you. You got me, I got you. I ain't trying to take you down. You're not trying to take me down. And believe it or not, lawyers, your bosses, they do pay attention to that and they take note. You may think they don't. They're on the phone doing a facilitation, a Zoom conference or whatever, but they do watch and monitor how we interact with one another. So you think about that. So, yeah, just on the positive side, it can be a very nice experience, and you can work for some really nice people, some really nice offices, ones that'll want to see you improve. It's always nice to work with management and other attorneys and HR directors that want to see you become better. And not only that, they're not just taking from you, but they're also pouring things into you. Anything you don't know, be like, okay, let's meet at such and such time. I'm going to explain this to you because we got this going on in the case. Let me explain to you what this is all about, and this is what I'm going to need from you. Boy, that is boss. When you have an attorney that can do that take that kind of step, because let me tell you something, you mess something up, you're not on your own there. In my opinion, based on what happened, the attorney has to take some responsibility as that as well. Did I explain it properly? Did I not send an email about it? Did we not discuss this? What happened? You know what I mean? Because if one of us go down, we both go down. The team goes down. Do you know what I mean? So rather than pointing the finger and running to HR, look at what they did. They made me look bad. Are you kidding me? You got to take a portion of the weight as well. What did you do? Was it last minute? How are you managing your time that your assistant couldn't catch that? You know what I'm saying? So as supervisors, as attorneys of counsel or whatever, what are you pouring back into your assistant? Because a lot of us, we get so tired. It is, and sometimes it's not so much physical, it's the mental. Especially if you're in the office and you have attorneys and you're managing over 150 cases. That's a lot. It is a lot. We're not AI robots. We're human beings, okay? I don't know how many times I've got to say that. And, yeah. So, even in the interviewing process, here's another question, secretaries, you can ask, is what do you pour back into your secretaries to help make them better at what they're doing? And if you hear crickets chirping, you might want to think about it. Because you definitely don't want to get stuck in a rut. Now, if you want to stick with it all the way up until you retire, then you go ahead. Do you. Do what you got to do. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But at some point, if it just feels like there's so many withdrawals, do this, do that, you come in on Monday, here, things are being thrown on your desk. I had a great weekend. Thank you for asking. I'm okay. Thank you for asking. And there's some out there that just don't give a rip how you feel, how your family doing, how are you doing. No check-in, no periodic check-ins. Is everything okay? You need to talk to me about anything? I love that. Some attorneys don't know to do that. Again, this is a very high volume, high stress profession, and some are not thinking that way. Now, I will say a lot of the older ones will take that step. Not so much the younger ones. Some of them, yes. But I notice a lot of that in the older ones. So we can agree to disagree on that, but that's what I notice from what I've seen and what I've experienced. So it's not a bad profession at all. There are some good things that take place in the office. There are some very enjoyable places to work. So wherever you are, I really hope you enjoy working with your boss, working with your attorney. It's supposed to be a team, and it's great. I hope you love it. And you're bouncing ideas off from one another. They're incorporating you into these cases. You know what I mean? You feel like you know the clients. That's always a good sign. So, and I hope you're being very rewarded and appreciated for what you do. And don't be afraid to even celebrate yourself. If you've had a good week, you've been, it's a phrase we say in the office, oh, I'm killing it. That means we're doing really good and we're happy with what we're doing. So it's a great experience. So I really hope you are fine and happy and joyful where you're at. And again, it takes a pull on both sides. So enjoy yourself. Again, good job. You are amazing. You have destiny and purpose, and don't let anybody put your lights out, because what you do is valuable. This profession is either for you or it's not. You might have messed something up real bad. Try again the next day.
Own up to your mistakes. If you know you messed up, if you know you missed it, okay. Admit your stuff and get it right the next time so it doesn't happen again. You know what I mean? Okay. So that's all I got for today, and I will see you at the next video.